Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Reality TV Africa. And guess what we're reviewing today? We are wrapping up Real Housewives of Nairobi, season 2, with the second part of the reunion. So let's just get into it because this episode was 1 hour long and we have a lot to talk about. I'm gonna talk about just the things that stood out to me. I didn't capture each and every single thing. I also captured a few of those things on my TikTok, on my Instagram, and I also have an X page, so I'll link those pages down below so you can go follow me there for all the BTS tea that I post there, as well as my, shorter clips of the reviews of the shows that I'm watching, including this one. Let's start off by reviewing the episode. Look, it was 1 hour long, but the 1 hour was worth everything, every scene. Sometimes you'll find me complaining about an episode being too long, like Mommy Club, Sugar and Spice. Those guys need to shorten those episodes. Some of the scenes are long and drawn out, but for the reunion, 1 hour, we got a lot out. I'll talk about maybe the things that I feel like they missed, and my predictions at the very end going into season 3, because there's definitely gonna be a season 3. So I'll rate the episode. Sorry, I'm rambling. I'll give it an 8.5. I'll give it an 8.5. It was a good watch, long but good. They got through a few things. They showed a lot of unseen footage, which made sense. I feel like there could be improvements in terms of the edits of the seasons, not the reunion. Because I'll say this, let me just kick it off. They showed some scenes where Dr. C was first aligned with Zena against Farah, and then back to Farah. She's aligning with Farah against Zena. I don't know, like it just showed Dr. C as a flip-flopper, honestly. And she may not like me for saying this, but yeah, Dr. C, you're coming off as a flip-flopper based on that. And yeah, I'll say her and Mine are generally flip-floppers, because even Mine first saying, introducing Zena to us, bringing her to her home, and then conveniently she says she's not friends with Zena. Meet her, you girl. At the end of it all, she's not friends with Zena by the time they were coming to the reunion. But there's a lot of flip-flopping going on there. It's giving Cynthia Bailey, okay? I'm going to be referring to my notes because it was a long watch. So yes, I've talked about the scene where Dr. C is flip-flopping and they showed evidence of that. Oh yeah, then Farid asked Vera, about her friendship with Mine now. And, she said last season there was somebody who was kind of preventing her, Vera, from getting to know Mine better, and Dr. C, and I'm guessing that's Susan. Conveniently, she didn't need to say who it was. We already knew who it was. I don't know why the camera panned to Zena, but I know she meant Susan, who's not here anymore. So she got an opportunity this time around to be, form a friendship with Mine, and now they're besties. And it's interesting that they showed this question and how Vera answered it, because by the end of the reunion things have played out quite differently, and I think Farid was vamping us up to that, showing us, okay, these two are besties, but by the end of the reunion, are they really gonna be? The reunion kept a good momentum, and we saw Farid bring up the whole I don't know how he got to that, but we got to Zena now talking about the things that Mine was telling her about Vera. And you see, at this point, we see Vera get up, and she's upset, and she's perturbed, and she's reacting, and because the things that Zena was revealing is the fact that, look, Vera has cameras in her house, and that's something only Vera had told Mine. And the thing about Sudri kids party, the kids party, and there was no kids food, Like, these are the things that really, really, really piss Vera off. The minute you show Vera as someone who's broke or doesn't have her own stuff or her finances together, that doesn't go down well with Vera. Vera is the kind of person she's all about the lifestyle, opulence, and she opened up about how she makes her money. She goes and does shows, hosts parties in the US and Canada and across the Americas, and that's how she makes her money. And she explained how it was the time that she was going through her divorce. She had just had her baby. She had to travel for work. That's how she makes ends meet, and she was breastfeeding. And when you're stressed, your milk production as a breastfeeding mom it can be affected. And she said her baby had to take bottled milk, so she was just she was a bit upset. She was actually really upset at Mine, because the stuff that Zena was saying was true. The context may or may not have been, which Mine was trying to defend and said yes, she did those things, but it was because Zena had asked her how does she make her ends meet, how does she watch, or rather make sure her kids are okay while she's traveled. And I guess Mine was saying, yeah, she's installed cameras, but you see, there's some things that Zena was saying that Mine said that were not so good, like, painting Vera as broke. Not a good look, and Vera believed it at the end of the day. She believed it. Let's talk about the whole Tiki thing. So, according to Mine, Tiki was apparently with another friend of Zena's, and Zena came and sliced, that means took him from the friend. But it's not adding up, because when we watched the series, during the episodes, Charles was having dinner with Tiki and talking up Zena and saying she's a cool chick, you'll meet her. And then again we see now Tiki and Zena pull up to hang out with Charles and Mine, and Charles and Mine are surprised that they're together. You guys wanted them together, weren't you hooking them up? Now it's a problem. Now, what is clear is the fact that Tiki is messy. I wish Tiki was at this reunion to answer for some of these things, because it seems to me that he's carrying information back and forth. He's carrying information about Charles and Mine to Zena, and about Zena to Charles and Mine. Now, what Zena said is that Charles and Mine did not want Zena getting together with Tiki, because she would get to find out a lot of their personal stuff. Which, to me, if you ask me, even the whole house situation, the home construction, land buying, ownership, allegations, I feel like Tiki is the one who brought this thing to Zena. And that's how Zena got to know about the house not being theirs and going to see the property as a potential buyer. That whole story of her and her sister, Zena and her sister, being in property, buying property, and they came across that property that is under sale. That's cock and bull, if you ask me. Coincidence. How many properties in this Nairobi are for sale? I feel like Tiki had a part to play in that. Messy boots. Anyway, that's all I'll say on that. Oh yeah, also the whole thing about let's talk about the storyline thing. Zena said that Mine used her for a storyline. Pretty much she's insinuating that, and this is now when it comes to Vera, that she wanted, Mine wanted Zena on the show to come and expose Vera, because she didn't want to be the one to do it, because she's besties with Vera, right? So she brought on Zena, and that's what Zena is saying, you used me as a project and you brought me as a storyline. Because that whole conversation about the spa collaborating, Vera's spa, we know right now, is Mombasa, is no longer in operations. It's closed. Though that was not really like spoken about at length, and we saw Vera kind of skate through that. But the collaboration of Vitox and Zella Aesthetics was discussed, and these people, I don't know, there's just a lot of underlying issues, and I'm kind of believing Zena when she says that Mine brought her on as a storyline to kind of expose Vera, but the unseen footage was, to me looked like it vindicated Mine, because at no point did they show that Mine said, actually go and ask her about her spa and 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 ask to collaborate so you can find out whether the spa is on operations or not. But that's what Zena was saying that Mine told her to do. But the footage did not show that. You feel me? So in that sense, Mine is kind of vindicated. I don't know, that's what it looked like to me, honestly. Yeah, well, let's talk about briefly about Farah. Farah's main storyline was her fertility journey, and the fact that she has frozen eggs. Look, Farah is, if not 50, clocking 50, close to 50, and well, I'll say this: Naomi Campbell had her kids at 50. I mean, her firstborn at 50, and has another baby already. So it's not unheard of. Kenya Moore had her baby way past 45. So yeah, it's not unheard of. It's just, I guess Farah wants to do it with a partner, with maybe, the father of the children or the child. But who knows if that's what she's going to do eventually. She said she may donate the eggs. I don't know. I mean, that storyline was neither here nor there. I mean, Dr. C did say it's a very sensitive thing. If a lady wants to talk about it, allow her to talk about it at her own time. It's a sensitive thing. She herself, Dr. C, went through, she said IVF, which is insemination of, it's not natural. It wasn't the natural way of conceiving. But yeah, I mean, these ladies and their motherhood journeys are very unique to them. And Farah, now that you've talked about that, let's hope you come with something different next season, because there's no, unless you're getting married or have a fiance, and then the eggs are gonna be fertilized to have an embryo and whatnot, then you can bring that storyline back next season. Unless there's no serious man, let's have another storyline altogether. I'll hand this to Zena, by the way. Zena was speaking with clarity. At some point, she was annoying when she was just shouting over the host Farid, shouting over Mine, shouting over Dr. C, shouting over, like, it was getting a bit annoying. But when she did have her chance to speak without interruptions, she spoke with clarity. She did explain about the kidnapping allegations and that there was no arrest, there was no fingerprints taken, there was no court case. And there we have it. Mine tried to interject and say the boy, she got word from Zena's close friends that the boy, when he went back home and was asked by his mother what happened and how he was and his situation in captivity, and he said that Auntie Zena was bringing him pizza and soda. Well, you see, that's hearsay, because Zena says, if you Google it right now, you'll see what the boy said. I Googled, I don't know if I'm not using the correct words, but Zena, if you see this, please send me the link of what the boy said when he was in captivity. And yeah, I'd like to know more about that. Guys, if you have the receipts also, come in my DMs on my Instagram and my TikTok and share them with me. Those are linked in the description box below, honey. Follow me. One thing Farid kept saying on these ladies is, even when when Dr. C and Farah going back and forth about age, and Dr. C said Zena is 58, have you seen her without makeup? He was like, turn to Dr. C, do you have proof of that? And Dr. C cheekily said yes. And even the whole thing about, he asked when Mine said she believes that Zena was part of this whole kidnapping allegations, and he asked her, do you have proof of that? And she said, no, I just go with my instincts. The one thing he kept asking for was receipts. Do you have proof? Do you have receipts? None of the ladies really had any receipts. I mean, Dr. C came with a Pandora's box, which we didn't see her really say much with it, just except about her home in part 1, which, okay, fine. Right, okay, fine. Well, one thing about Zena, she's unapologetic. Even when she was asked about her actions at Farah's event, she didn't offer up an apology. Yes, she did to Farah directly during the series, But in this scene, she was like, nope, I would do it again because, Dr. C came with that nasty behavior and whatnot. I'm paraphrasing, but pretty much she didn't even offer an apology for that, for her actions. And to me, it feels like Farah is a kind of, no, Zena, these names. Zena is the type of girl, if she's very huge ego, and if she offers up an apology, it's because she genuinely means it. She won't give a BS apology. And she was also clear about the fact that she is not apologetic to Farah for Farah felt like she was owed an apology because she felt like Zena was trying to gang up with Dr. C against her. And Zena was like, I don't owe you an apology, girl. I do not owe you an apology. Dr. C is not a puppet, and I can come for you on my own. I don't need Dr. C. And that's that. But in all honesty, Farah and Zena's beef is not that deep. We even saw them. If you watch to the end, at the very, very end, that extra clip after they wrapped the reunion, Farah and Zena were there off to the side hugging it out. So these two, it's never here nor there. They kind of have a mutual respect for each other. They even went down memory lane about, them being newbies together. Yeah, pretty much. But let's talk about the Dr. C and Farah beef, which again I also don't think is that deep. When they first met, you saw, Farah is a stickler for time. Dr. C was 2 hours late. And Dr. C came into it wanting Farah to put her in a situation where she can sit on a board of directors in certain corporates, being that Farah is in the corporate world, she's in corporate governance. So I think after Dr. C watched that back, she caught her feeling because she's like, look, girl, me and you are peers. We roll in the same circles. It sounded like they also are in a group of women common women where they know each other. And these common women were wondering what the issue is between Farah and Zena, obviously, when they watched the show. And Dr. C felt some type of way that, she was like, why does Farah feel the need to make it look like she's interviewing me for a position? That was not the case. In fact, Dr. C said, I do sit on boards already, so girl, chill. I just wanted you to help me along, get into more boards. Anyway, nevertheless, I don't feel like, like I said, their beef is not that deep. It's like, it's pretty surface. It's not like Mine and Vera's, and we'll get to that, okay, honey? Yeah, we saw Farid kind of ask about Dr. C and Vera's friendship and how it's grown. And Dr. C has a really deep respect for Vera's hustle. I mean, one thing Dr. C has said is, as if she had a son, she would encourage her son to marry a gold digger, because a gold digger is gonna make you work hard. Well, in this case, Vera is not a gold digger. She's a hardworking woman who seems like she's almost the sole provider for her kids right now. That's why she's hustling, going to the US, going to Canada to do shows. We saw her jet setting back at the top of the season from one of her tours. So Dr. C admires the world that Vera comes from, that world of being a socialite and how she makes her money, because Dr. C has never had to live that kind of a life, or has never. In fact, if Dr. C and Vera were not on this cast, their worlds would never have collided, ever. They come from such different worlds that it's so remarkable that they're friends. I like their friendship. It's one of, mutual respect. But we also saw Dr. C kind of set a trap for Vera, telling her stuff about Reja and Zena. And she knew that she wanted to test her loyalty, whether she would carry back the information. And obviously she would. Those are her. Reja was her friend. Reja came onto the show as Vera's friend. So what did you expect, Dr. C? What did you expect? What we didn't get was, remember that Dr. C did a DNA swab of Vera's mouth. We would have loved to see the results of that at the reunion. Like, what came of those results? Are they related? Because they're both lawyers, and at the lunch with Dr. C's dad and Vera, they talked about, may be coming from the same village and know each other's, parents and relatives. So we would have loved to see the results of that. Production, you failed us on that one. Yeah, we just saw there's a clip that the clips they brought up of the ladies gifting each other, and Farah was there talking about, oh, I even sent a gift even to Zena, despite it not being received well, and my mom being unwell. I felt that was, Listen, I'll tell you this about Farah. Farah's shade is very quick, very smart, very intellectual. You have to be very quick to catch it, okay? Because even the letter, the gift that she gave Zena with the note, it was shady, okay, guys? It was shady. Well, she did say there was another bit of the note that Zena did not read, which, she was basically burying the hatchet with her. But even when she was, kind of talking about, there's a part where she talked about, Zena, lets her anger get the best of her, and, like, her shade is very quick, very smart, you have to catch it. You have to catch it in the moment. It's never done with the intent to burn, but it's there. You feel me? Very smart. I like, look, Farah fits in this group. In as much as guys wanna say she rides the fence, she's boring, or this or that, the other, you can't always have a Zena, a Mine, you can't have a Dr. C. You need you need a balancer. That's what Farah is on this cast. She's a balancer. She also elevates the show with her international outlook and vibes, and how she's classy, So yeah, I wouldn't just say get rid of her just yet, but it's up to her if she wants to come back next season. Yes, also I caught and I said Dr. C and Mine are flip-floppers. The flip-floppingness of Mine when she was asked about the coffin scene, she's like, look, in the beginning I thought it was so wrong, but now I see Dr. C's point, and just because you're cool with Dr. C, now you're flip-flopping to see her point and side with her. Girl, bye. Own your ish. If you're gonna see something is wrong, say it's wrong to the end. You weren't feeling that but let me also talk about the coffin. Farah denied the fact that she did not know the coffin was coming. Dr. C said the restaurant owners knew. That's why I feel like Farah is plays a bit coy, plays a bit aloof, even in the scenes during the series, she'd be like, oh, I didn't know what you were doing with my head. Like, Farah, Mine was poking a flower in your head and you kept pushing in her hand away. You knew exactly what she was doing. Oh, I didn't know what you meant. Like, Farah plays this aloof, like, oh, I didn't know you said that. I didn't hear that. I didn't see that. I didn't know the coffin was coming to the restaurant. Girl, you probably knew. The owners of the restaurant probably told you. Anyway, we'll let that be for now, because you said you didn't know. Fine, you didn't know. Fine, we'll leave it alone. Anyway, that's where it comes to the end, except I want to upload production for the unseen footage. I want to upload production for the last beat after the reunion wrapped. That beat is actually what's going to show us how the season is going into season 3. So these are my predictions. Zena and Dr. C's beef, I see them coexisting, because in all honesty, Dr. C, I think Zena finds Dr. C hilarious. I mean, you could see how she was just laughing at Dr. C in some scenes, and not laughing at her, the hilarity of the things she was saying. Farah and Zena, we saw them hug it out. Then they'll be cool. They're okay. That's not that deep. Now, Zena and Mine, definitely that's a done story. Mine and Vera. I mean, did you see how Dr. C was trying to let them squash the beef? Like, girls, just squash the beef. If anything, we should be against Zena and be us on one side. But Vera is very adamant about the fact that it's not about sides. It's about the truth. And Mine, I'm upset with you for talking about my stuff to Zena. And Vera was very, very clear about the fact that she's not happy with Mine. And even when in the end, Dr. C is telling Vera to hug Mine, and Rivera was like, it's okay, bye, I'm left, I'm gone, I'm out. And she walked off, and we see Dr. C remain there with Mine. And these two, these two are very strategic. They're more alike than they like to give off. They are very strategic, they're flip-floppers, and their friendship is one of convenience. It could go either way. Right now they're cool. Who knows in season 3 what things will look like. Based on the fact that maybe they'll have new people, maybe they'll have additional cast, But one thing's for sure, there's gonna be a season 3. I'll say this about Farid. He tried his best. He lost control of the ladies at some point because the ladies were shouting over him, shouting over each other, standing up from their seats. I want to see the chance of the host being given to someone else. Let's see Caroline Mutoko host it next time. Can she do it? I think she can command presence. She can control these ladies with her authoritative nature and her eloquence. And yeah, she'll give the franchise the elevation that it needs, It doesn't always have to be a guy being the host. Guys, I don't know whether I'm suffering from allergies. Excuse the rubbing of my nose. I'm going to call it a day here, and we'll review more of the shows. I know Nai Rich is coming. I know Mommy Club, Sugar and Spice is still airing on Showmax. So catch me here for more reviews, guys. Follow me on my social medias and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And we'll catch you on my next review. Bye!